This was a lovely town. Pleasantville was absolutely perfect. That is until I killed a man.
You killed a man?
It's for keep-all peace. I Killed a Man is a notorious serial killer who is still at large, and one day we hope to catch him. We now move into our next building to discuss more into Mr. Ike Ilderman. What were his intentions? What drove him to murder? What can we uncover through his killings? And now, the reason being that we are in a school is actually because this was where Mr. Ike Ilderman's first victim was. You see, he was getting very bullied, and rather than turning his aggression outward into healthy, positive outlets such as art or music, poetry, he focused more internally and actually took it out on his bully. As we walk up these stairs, we will now move into the interview section of our documentary. Now, the disastrous event that led Ike Ilderman into going onto this killing frenzy, killing so many people, was simply the fact that he was bullied in high school. Bullied for liking anime. And no, anime is not a girl called anime. Anime is this newfound animation style where thin line art drawn characters of proportionally wrong women and young teenage boys go through many different adventures both in the fantasy setting and in the high school setting. And now, the main factor that he was bullied for was simply because Ike Ilderman had way too many waifus, as they are called. And we have a comprehensive list pulled up of some, a few of which are my favorite. Nezuko Kamada, Mikasa Ackerman, Violet Evergarden, Akame. Ike Ilderman, he is a notorious monster, that is correct. But what's even worse is he really knows how to charm the people. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he really knows how to get inside the mind of others. And even worse than that, as it goes on, is that he is able to woo the public so that way they're more on his side. He is one of the most ruthless serial killers that we have faced, and probably one of the most dangerous because of his amazing and talented ability to charm the public. Now then, I am here today with our last survivor from the Denny's massacre, Miss Vicky Timothy, otherwise known to friends and family as Vic Tim. Now, Miss Vic Tim, how do you feel about Mr. Ike Ilderman?
I mean, Ike Ilderman is just so...
You did what?
And I do it again!
Carry on. Back to the interview, Miss Victim. Your thoughts about Mr. Ike Ilderman?
He's just so dreamy, and he's so smart, and he doesn't look like a killer.
Right. Well then, how did you feel about being the last survivor?
You know, it was really sad. Like, I really wish he would have killed me, because, kill me, man. Like,
alright. I don't think that's quite the interview. After our horrid interview with Miss Victim, we knew it was time to move on. We went back to the very first crime scene to take a look at some of the photos. The police said we weren't allowed, but we went there anyway. We need to know the truth about Ike Ilderman, and we will do whatever is necessary to find it. We were looking at Ike Ilderman's mugshots when we heard over the radio that the police had found a second murder with his MO. We immediately knew what we had to do, so we got in the car and drove to the crime scene. And you will never guess what we found. And so today we are investigating the recent murder that did happen. And who do you think is the suspect?
Well, our current suspect is Ike Ilderman.
Ike Ilderman.
what? You killed a man?
No. The name of the suspect is Ike Ilderman.
Yeah, carry on.
Idiots, these civilians.
Anyway. This location, where would you say we are?
Well,
currently?
it's Brooklyn Alley Avenue, 1721, and currently the time is about 7:32. Our medics on the scene dictated that he died around 5 o'clock.
And lastly, a last question, just for the documentary. What are your opinions of the murder and this murderer, Ike Ilderman?
Oh, he's perfect. His murders, amazing. Every time that we see his murders, they're perfect. Like, you can tell by his MO that he knows what he's doing.
Very interesting.
It's always nice to have a murderer.
Thank you again for having us. That's all for this interview of the murder. Thank you. Looking back at all the murders that Ike Ilderman had committed, everything he had done, I knew I had to get an interview with him. And so, well, I did.
Come on, let's go.
Excuse me, just a moment of your time, if you don't mind. I'm reporting for a documentary. I just have a few questions I'd like to ask you, if that's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, great. So, my first question is actually, are you the confirmed killer who is infamous for his outstandingly clean kills and his MO of the Family Guy death? You are Mr. Ike Ilderman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great, that is good to know. I'm so glad. Anyway, so just a few more questions, if you don't mind. Why did you commit the murders?
I got bored.
You got bored.
I got bored.
Very interesting. Any other motive that could have played into that at all?
Oh, I stubbed my toe that day.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, and bullying.
Bullying, yes, we did receive reports about a bully, yes. One last question, if you don't mind. Just, I guess, how to word this. Why would you do it again if you could go back?
Why not? Why not? I'd love to do it again.
Well, we are dealing with a criminally insane man, and I, quite frankly, don't want to be near him anymore, so we'll end it here.
Hey!
I had finally gotten my interview with Ike Ilderman. I had achieved everything I needed for my documentary, but it still felt like it wasn't enough. I needed more. I needed one more interview. And so I sat down with Ike Ilderman and his notorious mother. Now then, today we are here with Mr. Ike Ilderman's mother, Miss Ilderman. And now, Miss Ilderman, if you would please tell us, how do you feel about your son being such a notorious serial killer?
I mean, I always knew it would happen. The kid was crazy.
Mm-hmm. And does it have anything to do with the fact of his anime waifus?
Oh, absolutely. I remember the first day he killed someone, I told him, you're watching too much of that anime. Those waifus are making you crazy. But he didn't listen. He went to school and beat his classmate with his mangas and called him
Yes. Quite tragic what happened to the classmate, and I thank you so much for bravely sharing that story. Now, do you think there's any hope for redemption?
I know, I don't think so. I think my son he's too far gone and we just need to put him down.
Right. And now, would you agree with the statement that is now all over the globe? Mothers against anime, brackets, waifus, end bracket.
Of course, waifus are dangerous. Look what they did to my son. They made him crazy.
Thank you for your time, Miss Ilderman. That'll be all now, thank you. As I passed by this window, I saw a murder take place. Now then, today we are here with our actual witness, Mr. Viewer, and that is your name, correct?
Yeah, viewer.
Perfect, okay. Now then, could you please clarify, you were the witness of Mr. Ike Ilderman's murder?
Yep, they did it.
Mm-hmm. And would you please, for the cameras, if you don't mind, describe exactly how the murder went down?
Yeah, so he came in like 12 o'clock and then Straight up grabbed him by the throat, stabbed him in the abdomen. Yeah, he did. Then he brings him to the ground. He just bring him to the ground. I don't know what else to say. That's what happened.
Interesting, very interesting. Well, you have been extremely helpful. Thank you for your time today. You are free to leave.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness!
Excuse
This
me.
way! Hey, you! Hey! No, this wasn't.
Did you kill this
No, I swear, I can cut the camera!
Two. Actually, we looked into you, Miss Viewer, and you don't have the qualifications to be interviewing our suspects. So I'd like you to go ahead and walk over to my cab car over there.
Right, of course, officers. Just one moment.
We got a runner!
And now for our credits. Interviewer, Aspen, Ike Ildeman, Silas, Vicky Timothy, Vic Tim, Alex, Miss Ildeman, Mac, Viewer, Hunter, Dead Guy 1, Tyler, Dead Guy 2, Kyle, Dead Guy 3, Kyle, Passerbys, Renoa, Serenity, Hunter, Officers, Lena, I think that's her name, Rain, Amber, Kyle, Serenity, Julia, Albion, Cameraman, Alex, Editor, Aspen, Playwright and Storyboard Artist, Silas.